Congratulations to the 8 people that are in the chat waiting for the LaFleur. That's the old Arnold Schwarzenegger way.
Yo, the lies so that you never make it. Hopeless, so it seems. Eyes closed, candles open wide to embrace your dreams. Sometimes you gotta take a loss just to get the win. Like lots of sin was popping in like oxygen when boxes wet. Focus on the mental, never lose like a smooth instrumental. Better choose on the move in a pinto. Choose what I get to, never lose smooth on the move, but it's simple. Never give up and we running it maybe. We just keep winning, we conquering daily. Envision and pay me, it's never this way. We indigenous, maybe we winning this crazy. Your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, this your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, this your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, this your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity.
Yeah. Welcome on, ladies and gentlemen. It is Friday. It's Fantasy Friday right here on the Lion Villain Report. I am your host. I have both guitars intact right there. Look at them beauties. Look at them beauties back there. All beautiful and guitar-like right there. My name is Russell Wayne. I am your host for about the next hour, and we are broadcasting live into our Facebook page, which is the Lion Villain Squad Facebook page. We just got over 53,000 followers. Thank you so much to everybody that supports the page. And this has been a fun year. And I wanted to put a shout out to Stephen Michael McMania. That's right, brother. Right. He is one of our graphic artists. You can find some of his artwork that is featured on our website and all that good stuff too. And I'm sure that we got Elise memes in the comments too. We're broadcasting live in the Villain Squad YouTube page. I need you to go over there and hit that subscribe button. Why not? So you can be like Manny the Main right there. He says, hey, man, I took care of that thing for you. Like Pete the Unaliver coming through there. We're also broadcasting live into the Detroit Lions News Podcast. Thank you to Joe Chap and the boys for allowing us to broadcast into that platform and help us reach 77,000 new people on the morning show. It's faith, family, and then football right here. We use football to spend time with our family and create memories. We don't let football use us because we keep our priorities straight, which keeps us in line right here, which makes it so we don't have to hate on any of these Packer fans or any of that stuff that's out there. You know, there is a little bit of trash talking that goes on this program, but that's all right because we got Big M in the comments says, good morning, Villain Squad. Looking forward to going 2-0 this Sunday. Go one pride. Time for this team to put the rest of the NFL on notice. You like that? That's right, brother. And we got Davey in there. Good morning to you, Davey. Good morning to Dwayne Keene. What's good morning to everybody? Fred Peterson in the house. Good morning. It's a great day to be a Lion fan. And like I said, please subscribe to that YouTube channel right there because we have 53,000 people on the Facebook page, but we're trying to grow the YouTube presence and do a better job with that. So we're going to be doing the live game streams from that. We're not going to be able to show it, but we are allowed to speak behind and give you live coverage of every single game. Now, not this Sunday, because you know what's going to happen this Sunday is Mike and I are going to make our way to the stadium for week 2, Lions versus Bucks. We're going to be there. We're going to be going around hitting up some of the tailgates and everything, taking some pictures with people. So I hope to see anybody that's going down there, like hit us up send us a message. Tell us where you're going to be at. We'd love to meet up with you, maybe have a beer with you and talk some Lions. So let's do that right there. So subscribe to the YouTube channel because that's the exclusive place that we're going to be doing the game streams. Scotty Reno in the house. What's up, Scotty Reno? Dwayne Keene says, let's go Lions, the NFC North Championship. I got to get your graphic out for you. I made that graphic for you. So let me get this comment out of the way, and then I'll show you my graphic that comes up for the NFC North champion, the division champions. Right there, the villains of the NFC North. Dwayne Keene in the house. Right there. And there's Elise Memes, the queen of memes. Happy Friday the 13th, villains. What a beautiful day to be a Lions fan. What's up, Muskegon Posse Chuck in the house? Jeffrey Addison, good morning to all. Now, Jeffrey does a fantastic job handling our group. I thought I put a thing in here for the group. Did I not put the group one in here? I didn't download the group one yet, but we have a group, Detroit Lions main event on the Facebook group. Let me see if I can bring this thing up here in a different way. There it is. So I should be able to share this with you. Share the screen. Boom, 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 and boom. There we go. The Detroit Lions main event right there. Jeffrey Addison is one of the moderators in there. And what's important about that is there's so many of these scammers that are out there trying to sell tickets, trying to get people to go into bad articles that talk about players dying in plane crashes and stuff like that. Well, Jeffrey is the guy that goes in there. He's like the Terminator. He goes through and he makes sure that all of those people are not only their posts are taken down, but that they're kicked out of the groups forever. So this is one of the cleanest Detroit Lions groups that's out there. Voice your opinion on there. And because the really, really good ones, we share them out to the page. But thank you, Jeffrey Addison, for everything that you do with our Facebook group, brother. That's right, brother. That deserves a Hulk Hogan. And when I say it's Hulk Hogan time, I got to find my guy. Where is he? Where's my, that's right. Let me tell you something, Mean Gene. With me and all my Hulk maniacs out there, what you gonna do, Tampa Bay, at Ford Field when the Detroit Lions run wild on you? Thank you, Hulk Hogan. I didn't know that he was such an avid Dan Campbell fan, but that's all right. That's all right. Paul Jones, good morning to Russ and the family. I appreciate that. Faith, family, and football. God bless you, Paul Jones. Jeffrey Addison says, I am excited to see what Reader can do for us. Oh, man, I can't. Let me get my Reader thing up here because the Reader, the Reader effect is going. I mean, I don't even know if you can really measure what this guy can do. I mean, we had good defensive line play from Levi Onwuzurike and Kyle Pecco last year or last week. But I am right there with you, Jeff. DJ Reader is a dude. I'm talking this is taking it up a couple notches. As good as Levi is, DJ Reader is a top 5 when healthy defensive lineman in the league. And it isn't necessarily because he'll get to the quarterback, because he'll get to the quarterback if you don't double team him. But he's a guy that demands it. I mean, he has made a living at anchoring and being able to hold offensive linemen and knock them up and demand that 2 people take him. It's kind of his thing. He's going to demand a double team every single time, which is going to leave Aiden Hutchinson and Davenport and Aleem McNeil to get somebody's going to get a one-on-one matchup. And judging by the way that they played last week without him, these guys can get to the quarterback. They can get to the quarterback. Now, they only had the 1 sack in there, but Stafford was getting rid of the ball fast. We dictated to them, said, you're going to have to play this way because they were going to get to him. He was releasing the ball fast, which means that they ran 80 plays and averaged about 5.5, 6 yards a play if you factor in the runs as well. So what does that tell you? It tells you that we're pretty good at tackling, for one. And 2, when you get DJ Reader in there demanding that double team, it's going to be a long day for Baker because they work off play action. They want to be able to run the football and open it up so they can throw downfield to Mike Evans. And our defense is built to stop that specific type. They're not going to be able to run the football on us, especially with DJ Reader. That's the other thing that DJ Reader brings. You're not going to run, off guard or, and with the edge guys that we have, Davenport is excellent at stopping a run. So it's like you're not going to do the off tackle either. So they will stop the run. They will make him one-dimensional. And Baker thrives on taking too long to throw the ball. I think they're going to sack him a lot. The DJ Reader effect is going to be, I think that they're going to get home a lot with this because he doesn't get rid of the ball quick like Stafford did. And they still almost got there. Main event, Mike. What's up? I must have missed some of these up here. There we go. I got to find my spot again. CR Mayo, Russ, you guys have shown you and the guys have shown exceptional performance, and you are well on your way to becoming a top show in the NFL. Get ready to secure that contract with ESPN. Wow, all right. We'll be waiting. And I'll be ready for that. And I appreciate that, guys. But it comes down to, having a bunch of people to talk to and have a good conversation. We'll do our part. We'll stay up on the news. We'll make sure we break all the news. And Mike and I are the ones that are running the show right now. And we have enlisted some help with Elise Memes and enlisted some help with Stephen Michael and Jeffrey Addison and, even Big Dan Davis and Jeremy Ballrick. all of these people have helped us grow, and it's been kind of a community thing here where we can all just get behind the villain. You know, what is the villain? Yeah, well, we're going to define that, you know. And who was the villain this week? Who was the villain this week? And we had broken it down, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much, CR. As we're identifying the page right here, what is the villain? Why do we call it the villain squad? Well, it came down to Brad Holmes last year, you know, wore a villain shirt at one of the press conferences well before CJ Gardner-Johnson got there. But he wore and he said it was just something that was inside the walls, and it was something that the team was identifying with. And what it comes down to is, who was the one that ruined their day? You know, who was the biggest villain that no matter what they did to try to stop? So what we were doing, who was the one that stood out like that? And David Montgomery was the winner this week, but I want to make it so you guys can be more interactive with this. And I want to make this a thing every single week, is deciding who the villain was going to be. And Jameson Williams, he can make his argument. 5 receptions for 121 yards and the touchdown. Like, he was the kryptonite when they tried to stop everything. You know, during the game, he was the kryptonite when they were bunching up the middle of the field and they weren't allowing Sam Laporta and Amon-Ra St. Brown to eat in the middle. Well, that naturally leaves another opportunity. And Jameson Williams seized it. So to all of the people that are out there that think maybe, oh, wow, what are they doing? Did they find the sauce on how to stop Amon-Ra St. Brown? I guess, if you want to get torched by Jameson Williams. So, no, I don't think that they found a sauce. I think that we found the kryptonite. And Jameson Williams becomes the villain in that, you know. Oh, you're going to put all your forces of good to try to stop Amon-Ra St. Brown, and you were successful. The villain's like, touchdown, yeah, you can't stop me. You know, and then in the fourth quarter, we tie the game. And, you know, really the villain could be the entire offensive line. I mean, really, but, you know, David Montgomery trucking down. I mean, he got like, what, 70 of those yards, 67 of those yards of those 91s were in overtime because he just took the game over. I mean, that's the villain. No matter what you were going, you had to watch that, Matt Stafford. You had to just watch Penei Sewell and Frank Ragnow, Taylor Decker and Zeitler running downhill after playing I mean, really, give credit where credit is due. That defensive line played well the entire game. But guess what? You ran out of gas. We drug you out to deep water. And then there was David Montgomery out in the the triathlon guy. He's doing the backstroke. He's out in deep water just swimming and, you know, splashing the water in your face, and we just sunk the ship. So he was the villain. You know, and I put Kirby Joseph on there as a potential villain too, because, I mean, he only had the one interception, but that's about as big of an interception as you're ever going to get right there. You know, sealing out. I mean, they were going down. They were going to at least get 3 points at the end of half, and he shut that down. So out of those three, if you could think of anybody else in the game that could be the villain, but it was out of those three, but it's David Montgomery, man. It's David Montgomery. You guys feeling me on that? What up, though? There's Broski Bear in the house. See, we do have the other fan bases in there. Joseph says, hello, Russell. 31-14 Lions. I like it. I like it. Big M's got 31-20 Lions. I like it. I like these. Sarah says that, man, these 49ers are so arrogant. See if they don't get served some humble pie like last year. Yeah, this is an interesting test right here for you, Sarah. Sam Darnold, I think that he showed out a little bit. He showed what he could do with a little bit of with some playmakers. You got a couple guys over there, and I think they can get it done on the offense. But the 49ers, they know Sam Darnold over there, and I don't know. It could be a long day for you. I definitely wouldn't put any money on the Vikings this week. Any word on Patrick playing this Saturday? I would not know that. I don't know. I know that he's on the practice squad. Really, I liked seeing Tom Kennedy out there throwing some blocks. They really proved that really you got those high-end playmakers. You got Jahmyr Gibbs, you got Amon-Ra, you got Sam Laporta, and now you got Jameson Williams into that, David Montgomery. All of those guys can catch the ball out of the backfield. You can line them up all over the field. That next wide receiver, if you need some, maybe throw some Khalif Raymond in there. But if Tim Patrick comes in, even if he does, I expect it to be not much. They'll have a couple designed plays for him that take advantage of his skill set of being a big wide out. But I don't see him going out there and making big impact. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to eat this week because they attacked the middle of the field last year and were very successful in that area. They give up a lot of points to tight ends. I think Sam Laporta could have a big game in this game here. But as far as the Vikings go, they're running into the 49ers, Sarah. I'm sorry. I don't know. They haven't won there since like 92, right? And I get that, but it's teed up for them to win that game. Checking in. What's up, One Pride? Let's get the W on Sunday. Sink the Bucks. Thank you, Michael, for the comment. Ken Fisher in the house. Good morning, Russell. God, I cannot read today. Good morning, Russell. Who would have thought last night Josh Allen would throw for 139 yards and win convincingly? The only thing bad, I had him on my fantasy team. Yeah, that's not very good. I was trying to stay away from Josh Allen this year on the fantasy team because I think that they undersell the missing of Stephon Diggs. He may be a butthole. He may be hard to work with, but he's a damn good wide receiver. But like we had said in our lock picks, Mike and I, it's like, here we go. It's the Miami Dolphins daddy coming to town and, taking his, it's a little daddy-daughter dance, and there's just something about that Miami Dolphins offense that isn't viable, right? You got Tyreek Hill. I get Yak. You get these guys that can run a lot after and break tackles, but some teams are good at tackling. And what happens when you run into a disciplined team is you expect these guys to catch all these short passes and then make magic happen. But then you run into a defense that plays tight, that gets right up in your grill, that knocks down some of them short passes. And then when you do catch it, they tackle you right away. Good defenses will destroy the Miami Dolphins every time. They don't have, if you want to get in a street race with them and go track meet and you can't stop and you're going to try to get in a track meet, they'll win that game if you start trading punches with them. But Miami is a lot of bark. And then when it comes down to it, they'll run into a good defense and then they'll get smoked. You can win some track meets with that team, but if you tackle well, you'll usually beat them. That's my 2 cents on the Dolphins. Hello, Russell. Okay, I got something in here. I saw Jeremy B. Good morning, gents. I'm way behind on everything right here. I like these. What up, Doe? Brent says 34-24, Detroit, 100%. I like that. That's probably more realistic. My homer mind thinks that Tampa Bay is not going to be able to do anything against our defense. I mean, last year they held them to a field goal for the whole game, and this defense is a lot better. I think that they're even going to be more pressed on the run. So, 24 points. I don't think they're going to score more points than the Rams. Just don't see it 100%. Sarah says, we might not win, but it's not going to be a cakewalk. It depends. It depends on that. Like, here's where you run into trouble is the strength right now of the team is on the offense, and they have a very, very good defense. You could find yourself in a hole quick in that game. That's my only concern with the Vikings trying to go toe for toe, and then, Brock Purdy gets hot. And because they got you have a nice young defensive end, and I don't know how well that's going to work against Trent Williams. This is a good welcome to the NFL moment for your rookies. So, but you never know. You never know. Big players step up, and young players can pop off. So if he can have a good game, Dallas Turner, I think that's who it is, right? Dallas Turner, the edge player. If he can have a good game against Trent Williams, let's go. There you go. Flores is 2-0 versus Shanahan. Hey, I'm not trying to say go look at the point spreads and bet it. Sarah, if you're that confident, if they're going to go win, you could probably get pretty good odds on a money line, because I know that San Francisco is favored in the game. So go for it. Go for it. Let's see. On who said the whole offensive line was the villain. They blew up holes left and right for Montgomery. They were pushing them around 5 yards deep off the offensive line. And I agree with that. Can we'll just have a pack of villains? We can have the offensive line in there. But David Montgomery was running hard too. He willed that. And it's like, I'll give him the nod and then give the offensive line, the attaboy at the same time, because Dan Campbell called it out, right? Dan Campbell was like, they gave those props to David Montgomery. But that's all right. It takes all of it. The offensive line started out slow. They made some mistakes, a couple procedure penalties and stuff like that, just getting back into it. So, and it was nice to see them dominate in the fourth quarter. There was no question that we were going to win the game. You're getting 10, 20-yard chunks. They didn't want to play us anymore. That defense definitely just bent to us. St. Brown and Laporta is going to have a great game. Waymo will smoke. I like it. See what JMO does for this offense. It's amazing, because it's that deep threat thing that we didn't have last year. In a sense, he is completely replacing Josh Reynolds, right? Josh Reynolds was the number 2. I would say that he's a below average number 2, but he played well in those spots. He played well when he had to be the other receiver when he was called upon in there. But Jameson Williams is just kind of like a Lamborghini version of the same thing, right? He's in those same holes that Josh Reynolds was in, but he's a playmaker. I think he takes that wide receiver to a complete new level. I'm on Ross St. Brown, and Sam Laporta can draw all the attention. But eventually they're going to have to bring those safeties back. They're going to have to account for Jameson Williams' speed. And Ben Johnson is just smart enough to keep them in that trick bag. That's what I'd like to call it. I call it the trick bag. Because if you do this, we're going to do that. If you go up, we're going to go down. If we go left, we're going to go right. And we have skill positions that can go in any direction. And one thing I wanted to bring up here is I was listening to Jared Goff speak the other day. And here's one thing that I know about Jared Goff quarterback speak. And I think that we could agree with this. Jeremy was the last comment that was in here. So Jeremy can probably speak to this. But Jared Goff, when he speaks, he is probably the best at telling you a whole bunch of stuff without telling you anything. You know, hey, I go out there, I can do what I can do. I work really, really hard, and we try to execute the things that we do in practice, and I do what I can to help the team win, blah, 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 right? All of that. But Jared Goff let something slip in one of these. I don't know what you guys think about this, but he had said that something to the effect of that they are going to get David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs out on the field at the same time. And he was complimenting both of them on their, the fact that they can do everything, that they're both really good in between the tackles. They can both block well. They can both receive well. So they're like two completely different backs that are good at everything. And they're good at everything in a completely different way. And Goff let that slip out. He doesn't give information when he doesn't have to give information. And he did that either purposefully. Why would he let something like that slip? Or is that just that's a sign of things to come? And this is what I was waiting for right here. Jeremy B says his QB speak ranks up with the most coach speak around the league. And to that point, Jeremy, when he mentions something, and I know that you listened to it, but when he mentions something about having David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs out there, do you expect to see that? There you go. How about that? Y for yes, N for no. Do you believe that we're going to see, I should put an over-under on it. Do you think that we'll see a few plays this week with David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs out there at the same time? Like David Montgomery, in the backfield, and Jahmyr Gibbs out in the slot with Jameson Williams up top, Amon-Ra, Do you think that we might see that? Because that would be crazy. That would be a nightmare when you think about it. So, I don't know. I've been just thinking about this offense and how dynamic it can be, and how you have certain players that have to pull, defenders and make them respect them. Jameson Williams is one of those guys, and Jahmyr Gibbs is one of those guys. And I love it. Okay, Big M says no. Says see Vaki with one of them. No, I don't know, man. I pay attention to these things when I'm listening to the coach speak and I'm listening to the players talk, because some of them will drop some nuggets. You can definitely capture things from like when Dan Campbell speaks. Because when Dan Campbell speaks, he's such a genuine, upfront person that it's like he's not going to waste his time talking about like nonsense. Like last year when JMO was, he didn't pull any punches on. He's like, man, this guy's not going to be a great catcher of the ball. He called him out when, he wasn't getting on the same page as Goff. He's realistic to the injuries and everything that's out there. So that's how you can like believe some of the things that are coming out of the camp. Because I know that we ran into some things like with Levi Onwuzurike, right? I brought that up a few weeks ago here. And that gets, oh, well, how can you depend on these players? You can't believe anything that a coach says, just because players talk, we got to see it out on the field. And then he comes out and then he balls out in week one. And then you see it. But I think that when Dan Campbell says some things that you can trust, that we're getting to a place that when Dan Campbell comes out and endorses a player, that it's a genuine thing and you can count on it to be true. So Jared Goff is the most vanilla interview that you're ever going to get. He tells you what you need to hear, and then that's it, right? And then he offered up that information and said that, hey, that we're going to have both of these guys out there at the same time, and that teams are going to have to learn how to defend that. Dropping seeds. And that's the thing, is you got to worry about that. I mean, think about the implications of that. You got this elite offensive line, and then you're going to line up, up top, you're going to line you got Gibbs in the slot and Williams up top. And then you got Amon-Ra St. Brown on the other side of the field and David Montgomery in the backfield. I mean, you can run it right off the tackle because you're going to need to keep safeties over there, because you're going to have to be honest with Jahmyr Gibbs, doing a little slant cross, Jameson Williams running long. It creates problems. Somebody's going to get the one-on-one through all of that. And all of them have the explosiveness to take the ball to the house. Or you could spend all your resources trying to stop those guys from beating you deep, and then they're just going to hand the ball off to Montgomery against a soft box. Trick bag. It's a trick bag. It's just another way to put them in a trick bag. How about Jared Goff and Hooker at the same time? I don't know, man. I don't know. Hooker, I still think, is in a learning process. And I think every week that goes by with Hendon Hooker is another week that he's getting more engraved into the offense. I think he's fine as a QB. He just needs to learn the offense. He proved enough to me just in the preseason part, because, he's going against third and fourth stringers. Yeah, you're right. And he was playing with third and fourth stringers too. So I try to look at the play as in he's going to be behind Frank Ragnow and Penei Sewell, Taylor Decker, Kevin Zeitler, and Graham Glasgow. He's going to be throwing the ball to Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, handing the ball off. Like the quality of people behind him. I have no doubt in my mind that Hendon Hooker can process the game and make good decisions with the ball with a throw first mentality. So I don't think they'll have them out there at the same time. I don't think that you'd want to risk it, because, if Jared Goff goes down, then you need to have a quality backup. So there's not a need to have both of them out there at the same time. So that's my 2 cents on that one. God, I need to get my glasses. And be able to see this. Jeremy B says Vaki might even be in at fullback again. He did well to wall off on a play action pass play. Vaki's a very smart player. That's what I keep on hearing from everybody that knows something about football around the organization, is that Sion Vaki is a very smart football player. And I think that he can do anything. I think that he would have made the team based off of what he can do on special teams alone. And he can sing. So he's always going to have a special spot in my heart. I love a good singer. Tyler says, I think the formation would definitely happen, probably in a situation where the defense is gassed and we're forced the other team into a timeout or they get burned. It's true. I mean, we have so many different ways that we can attack you. And this is one of the reasons why I brought up earlier in the offseason that we don't need a great number 4 wide receiver. You know, it was brought up like it was this big issue that the Lions are going to have to deal with. It's like, no, they're just going to put other people in spots to make those plays. You know, Jahmyr Gibbs is a slot wide receiver. The kid's got hands. So I feel that 100%. Big Dan Davis, are you concerned with the game day status of Penei Sewell? He's missed the last few days of practice with that high ankle sprain. I don't know. I mean, we'll have to see. But when it comes with a lot of the big men, it's like these guys know what they're supposed to be doing. So veterans can miss. So we'll have to see. I would think that if he doesn't practice at all today, then I would start to raise the concern because it is Friday, because you definitely want to get one practice in. And if he misses, he misses. You know, it is the next man up. I know that nobody wants to really hear that. I mean, Penei Sewell is the best tackle in football, but I'd rather see him get better. And yeah, does it concern? Can we win without Sewell? I think we might be able to win without Sewell in this game because I think it's the defense that's going to dictate. I don't think that they're going to score a lot of points on us at all. They can't run it. And our red zone defense is sick. And our cornerback room isn't even fully gelled. And I have a feeling that these guys are really going to be playing well off of each other by the end of the year. I think this defense could end up being special, guys. I hope that you see it. And I know that Big Dan Davis has been pretty hard on Aaron Glenn, but I think that you're going to get a chance to see Big Dan Davis, what Aaron Glenn can do when he has the chess pieces that helps him play his style. The Gibbs in the slot, Monty at running back. Yes, it will happen this week, maybe, but yes, it is coming. My point on that earlier, Jeremy, was that like I heard Goff say it, and Goff is not a, tell you something in an interview kind of guy. You know that he isn't. And he offered up that information, which tells me, in my opinion, that it's a lock. It is a lock. It will happen, and you can expect it to happen, and it's going to create problems. Having Jahmyr Gibbs right off the slot, he can do a slant, he can do a 5-button hook, and then you're going to put him out there in space like that. I mean, him and Jameson Williams might be the two best guys in space in the entire league. So you give them extra space, I mean, Jameson Williams will make you miss inside of a phone booth. So, yeah, I absolutely think that it's going to happen. And I think that Jared Goff in that interview gave a tell. And I pay attention. Maybe I'm wrong. But Russ, great podcast from the Bay Area and becoming a Lions fan when we drafted Follett and best back in 9-10. Wow. Okay. I kind of remember that name. Jeremy says that he agrees with that. Yeah, I love that. Paul Jones says the formation too wide. Monty at fullback, slide Gibbs in motion. Yeah, you're woo! Love it. Love that call. You like that? What is a phone booth? Remember that name? Oh, a phone booth. Yeah, they don't have phone booths anymore. You just need Wi-Fi and the connection. And if you do have a Wi-Fi, take some time, go over like Manny the Main. He says, I took care of that thing for you. And there's Pete over there. So subscribe to the Villain Squad YouTube page and help us get out there. We're going to be broadcasting the games on there. Mike and I are going to the Tampa Bay game this week, but Arizona, Mike and I will be doing the Villain Cast, and we'll be broadcasting the game, and it'll be fun. And I did say I was going to get into some of the fantasy stuff right here, and I got the PFF going, and I don't know if you guys are interested in that. Y for yes, N for no. I mean, it's okay if you guys don't want to talk about that. We'll see what everybody's feeling on that. But I may devote the last 10 minutes to some fantasy football. I got the top 10 plays of every position. And, you know, if you guys are interested in that, you got 2 minutes to get your vote in. and now, and you got 2 minutes to go, and we're gonna bite the kneecaps, and and Mama says that that you should watch the Villain Report. Okay. It's Lions Villain Report is one of my favorite shows to watch in the morning. It's 10 a.m. You can see it. You can watch it like the Lions Villain the report. It's in the morning. It's 10 a.m. Oh, it's the game preview. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Where are we at? LOL. I got some more love off of the. Davey wants to hear a little bit of it. So why don't we go into it? So fantasy football, they have the top, the rankings. I can do them. I should be able to do filters. Okay, top 10 quarterbacks. They have listed as Jalen Hurts. He's going to be at Atlanta. Now, this is off of PPR. And then they had Josh Allen. Yeah, these guys know what they're talking about. Jaden Daniels has been moving his way up. What do you guys think about Jaden Daniels? He's got a matchup. He's playing the New York Giants. I think that would be a really, really good play if you had Jaden Daniels. Let's see any of these other things. I mean, I don't know about you're like Jared Goff versus Tampa Bay. I mean, I don't know if he's going to have huge points in this. This feels like a defensive struggle when it comes in. I think that we're going to be running the football a lot. I don't know if Jared Goff will have a big game, but he's ranked as the 10th best. Dak Prescott's at 9, going up against New Orleans. CJ Stroud against that tough Chicago defense. Kyler Murray at 7 against that. And then against the Rams, Anthony Richardson against that Green Bay defense. That Green Bay defense was looking pretty suspect. And, I mean, Anthony Richardson's a baller, it seems like. And if he can stay upright. Jaden Daniels, number 5 play. Patrick Mahomes at number 4 versus Cincinnati. Then Lamar Jackson. And you know, when it comes with the fantasy football, the dual threat quarterbacks, you know, they do a little bit better on that. Let me oh man, I thought I was sharing it. I'm sorry, guys. let me share the screen with you. I thought you were looking at what I was looking at. My bad. There you go. Let's put it up in there. This is what I'm looking at. There on the side. All right. This is the fantasy football rankings right here. And we're going to do a filter wise. And let's go ahead and do it from the top wide receivers. Week number 2 right there. Tyreek Hill. What did he do yesterday? I mean, not a good play in name. Obviously, if you have Tyreek Hill, you're going to play him, right? CeeDee Lamb in New Orleans. I mean, CeeDee Lamb is a stud. I mean, that dude is uncoverable one-on-one, and he's a big play waiting to happen. Cooper Kupp. This is in PPR. So point per reception, and Cooper Kupp will catch he'll catch 11 balls for 80 yards. He'll get those points per reception right there. He's always good play. A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Justin Jefferson, Rashid Rice. Let's look at some of these lower plays right here. As wide receivers 2. Tank Dell. You're thinking that some of these guys getting in their projected points. Tank Dell, Zay Flowers, Xavier Worthy. Wow. Who's got Xavier Worthy out there? I mean, Xavier Worthy, he was probably, I'm not going to say he's a big surprise, but Xavier Worthy with Patrick Mahomes giving him a deep threat like that with that speed, it's like, damn, Xavier Worthy. Let's see what else they have through here. The wide receiver cornerback matchup. This is a pretty cool thing from PFF. That they love Amon-Ra St. Brown versus all the defenders. The top 4 matchups. There's Amon-Ra St. Brandon Ayuk versus all of the Minnesota defenders right here. And hey, I'm sorry, Sarah. I'm just giving the reports here. The scary Terry McLaurin. They're calling, really anything against that New York Giants defense, right? A.J. Brown versus Deebo Samuel. They're expecting San Francisco to eat on that Minnesota defense. Mike Evans, they consider that a good matchup against the Lions. Keenan Allen versus I don't know if you guys got any of these guys. Ooh, Tyler Johnson. Look at that. Against that trash Arizona defense. Come on, man. Look at that. You got 2 of these guys right in a row. So, look at that. 1, 2. They consider it a good matchup. Then you got all the way up here, you got the Cooper Kupp matchup too. Oh, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. I don't want to. Let's see what we got in here. Gosh, I cannot read. Big Dan Davis. Tyler says that Carlton Davis has been given valuable insight on the Bucs. Ooh, I like that call. I'm glad that you brought that up because I've read that too. I think that is it's something that every team has, right? Any team that's anybody that's coming from a different team can obviously do that. But he didn't just say that he was offering insight. Aaron Glenn said that it was the best defensive back breakdown that has ever been given. And he wished that he recorded it. It was so good. Tendencies, I mean, he knows those wide receivers, I mean, intimately. I mean, when you think about it, he's practiced with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin like every year of his career. He went up against them in practice every day. So the things that he would know about Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and that wide receiver core would be crazy, And then the Baker Mayfield too. He knows Baker Mayfield. He knows his tendencies. And I don't know. I think this is going to be I think this is a tailor-made game for the Lions defense to just take over the game. I mean, I would love to see a defensive touchdown in this game. And because it's been a while since, since the Lions could really look at a defense where you're thinking you could get a takeaway. I was watching that Chicago game and, living vicariously through a Chicago Bear fan, just watching that quarterback play so bad and then having your defense just, put the team on their shoulder and like score defensive touchdowns. That's exciting because you're not expecting your rookie quarterback now to have to take over games. Like he needs to be able to learn the speed of the NFL and hopefully it doesn't ruin him putting him out there too early. But no, I think that the Lions defense has the potential to be that strike defense where, you could get a turnover and have him take it back to the house. Very, very good showing out of Terrion Arnold in his first game, covering Cooper Kupp. And, it may not have looked like it in the stats, but I watched the game. I don't care about the stats. And even the, PFF stats weren't that bad. But when Cooper Kupp has, at 119 yards, but on 14 catches, when you got this guy and you're tackling him, immediately, and that's all you can really ask about your guy. It's like he didn't get owned in that. They literally went at him the entire time. And I don't know how much he would get slack for that. I'm going to go get the PFF stats right now. But I loved Terrion Arnold's first game. He didn't look like the game was too big for him. And I was just really proud of the way that the defense played in the first game. Let's see what they give Terrion Arnold. They a 57 grade in coverage grade, and he was a 57.8 overall. But he was an 81.2 in tackling. So a lot of those grades are based off of like he got the wide receiver down, whoever he was guarding. Excellent at tackling. And then he had a couple of those penalties, but he can learn from those penalties. He's just got to learn the differences between college and pros. Less handsy. I'm sure that he was working on it all week, but I love our secondary. I love that Carlton Davis can be right there for Terrion Arnold to learn stuff from. I think that he's going to have a suspension coming for Hill for that police footage after that police footage was released. CJ Stroud and the Texans are going to destroy the Bears. Ooh, that's a bold take right there. Paul Jones says that Arnold is a stud. Dude tackles after the catch. Does the job. Few fingers on the passes. See, the thing is that you love that aggressiveness, Paul Jones. You love that aggressiveness. You love a guy that isn't going to be afraid to, get right in there on the wide receivers. When you get like that, sometimes when you're really, really aggressive, it can turn into big plays too for them, because if they make the play and, the aggressiveness, you can pay for it sometimes. but I would rather have somebody be aggressive than to, play not to win or play not to lose. That was my bitch when Jim Caldwell was here. It's like, I don't want to play not to lose. Okay, we're still in this game, giving them other chances. When we have a chance to stick that knife in, let's stick that knife in. We ain't wasting no time. So I love that. 3 picks by our secondary. It's my prediction. Okay. Kupp and Arnold gave Arnold big props for his performance. Yeah, that was a good matchup. They should give each other props for that. Here's a good point. Sub-Zero did not give up a tutty. That's good. There you go. George says kneecap. Yes, thanks for recalling Foylet like a helicopter. Mayfield is wild, still times at reckless. I wouldn't be surprised if Arnold gets his first pick against him. Yeah, he's one of those gunslingers. He's a gunslinger. And sometimes it can get that you can make that happen, being a gunslinger. Nothing wrong with being a gunslinger. Matt Stafford used to be way more of a gunslinger than he is right now. I think Matt Stafford has matured as a quarterback since he was playing in Detroit, because he did have a lot more of that gunslinger mentality, but he probably had to. When you got a defense that you can count on, it changes your style up a little bit. Stafford doesn't make a lot of mistakes. Baker still has that gunslinger in him. And you can always force a gunslinger to pull his gun too fast, especially make them pay for it. But they got that offense to do it. Mike Evans is the kind of guy that you can have perfect coverage on, and he still makes the play. I give Tampa Bay a puncher's chance, because if you can throw the ball downfield and you got a guy that can make a play like Mike Evans, you always have a chance. You can come back in games. You can defeat perfect coverage like that. And Baker will take the shot. What? You got sticky coverage? I'm throwing it anyway. I'm going to put trust in my guy, Mike Evans. He'll go up there and catch that ball. Well, do we have the DBs to stop that? I don't know. I think Mike Evans is going to get covered by Carlton Davis all day. And I think that there may not be a cornerback in the league that knows Mike Evans like Carlton Davis. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Make sure that you get your scores in the comments if you haven't already for the game. We did a little bit of fantasy football, but that's not really my bag. Maybe I'll get Michael in here and do more of a fantasy, but it just kind of rolled off the tongue today, Fantasy Friday, so I made sure I hit a little bit of that in there. Who's got the best fantasy football team? Do you like your fantasy football team? I always like seeing fantasy football team names too. If you got a clever fantasy football name, drop that in the comments. But you have been watching the Lion Villain Report with your boy, Russell Wayne. And if Christopher Walken was here, he'd say the Lion is the Villain Report is every morning at 10 a.m. You can watch it. You can watch it. You can give yourself a notification. It's 10 a.m. It could be good for you. It could be good for you. It could be good for your life if you watch the Lions Villain Report, 10 a.m. Thank you for watching today. If you haven't already, go over to the Facebook page, give it a follow. Join the conversation on the Facebook page too. Don't forget to, argue with people in the comments. I'm sure that we got some good football opinions that are out there somewhere. Subscribe to the Villain Squad YouTube page at Villain Squad, at Lions Villain Squad. Thank you, Joe Chat, for allowing us to broadcast into your spot. Detroit Lions News Podcast, Detroit Lions News Show with Joe Chat. See that JC Sports on YouTube. Check it out. If you want to be guilty by association, you have a business, you want to advertise with us a little bit, support 8 shows per week, Lion Villain Report Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m., and the Main Event Football Show with Main Event Mike, and the Monday Night Review Preview. If you got a business, hit us up in the messenger, and then we'll let you know about the pricing. It's faith, family, and then football, in that order. We use football, creating memories. We use football to spend time with our family. We don't let football use us. And may the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you. Until we meet again. Football Talk. Lion Villain Report tomorrow morning. Peace out.
Hey yo, the lies so that you never make it. Hopeless, so it seems. Eyes closed, hands open wide to embrace your dreams. Sometimes you gotta take a loss just to get the win. Like lots of sin was popping in like oxygen when boxes win. Focus on the mental, never lose like a smooth instrumental. Better choose on the move in a pinto. Choose when I get to, never lose smooth on the move, but it's simple. Never give up and we running it maybe. We just keep winning, we conquering daily. Envision and pay me, it's never the sway me. Indigenous, maybe we winning, it's crazy. Your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, it's your opportunity.